What's happening, Wisdom Warriors of Light? Back at it for another video. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. Hope you enjoyed the Sunday sermon. Hope you got a lot out of it. Hope it really helps you maybe center and ground yourself in your everyday life more and more. The more and more we can come back to the breath, the more and more powerful we're going to be, and the more we're going to know our worth and our value and know who we are. So our journey never ends, and our journey always continues and keeps going, and we keep learning and growing and evolving and expanding, and that's what we're here to do as a soul. Not everybody is, but for the most part we all, at least if you're on this channel, that's something you want to do and something you're trying to do and been trying to do. And so I want to also mention, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I love you all so much. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you being a part of this journey with me as we grow and expand together and apart in so many ways. I had such a beautiful Akashic Records reading today that was just so profound and so powerful, and I'm so grateful to have met this woman, and we're on this journey together. We were put together by no accident. let's make no mistake about it. And the mere fact is that I want to talk a little bit about attachments and surrendering and doubt and all of that whole arena, because I've been kind of experiencing that myself a lot today, especially, and in the last week to last month. I feel like all of July has been like that. I feel like all of July I've had to surrender to the unknown, surrendering to and letting go of an outcome happening the way I think that it's supposed to happen. And let me just drink a little bit of this. My throat feels excuse me there for a minute. But I feel like a lot of us are having to lean into more trust and faith. I did a video on trust and faith, and check it out if you haven't already seen it. But I want to talk a little bit more about this, because I think that this is a very, very huge, something huge that we're all having to do. And with every aspect of our life, whether it be financial, whether it be romantic, whether it be family related, whether it be friends, whether it be it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're being put up against these certain challenges and experiences to let go, to surrender, to let go of the attachment to it. Like whether it be the attachment to how much I have in my bank account, and that being a point of feeling grounded and centered because I have this amount of money to protect me. If something happened, I have this to fall back. If I and that's not the only aspect. I feel like it's been happening surrounding our health, surrounding relationships, surrounding family, surrounding financial, surrounding medical. Like we can't go outside of ourselves anymore. And that's kind of like what I started to talk about yesterday on the Sunday sermon, and then it kind of went in a different direction. But I wanted to, kind of go in this in the way of like going inward and explaining what that really is. Meaning, like, you get the answers from inside. Like you ask yourself, you ask your higher self, you ask this question and say, can you help me with this guidance? and you go inside yourself. You listen to the messages that are coming through internally. And it's a deep knowing deep down. It's not like up here, like it's in your brain and the message comes in there. Sometimes it does for some people, but most of the time it's deep down in your gut. And you hear it and you listen. A lot of times we don't listen, we just doubt it. We doubt what we're hearing. And then we go down a different path, and then it turns out not the way we think or wanted it to turn out. Because we didn't listen the first time. I gave this example, it was interesting. When I was doing this reading today, and we were reading each other, I told her about this story about this this person I was dating back in 2015, and how we were heading down to the beach. And we met at this one location because we both lived on opposite ends of the state. And we both met at this one spot. And then we followed each other. And then she followed me down to the beach. And as we were headed down there, we got on A1A, or Federal, whatever the street was in South Florida at the time, down in the area that we were in. And she's behind me, and the parking lot where you park your car, it was one way, so if you missed the turn, you had to circle all the way around again. So what was interesting is I began to proceed, I made a right, and then I was going to make a left into the parking lot, and I went like this with the steering wheel. And I was about to turn down there, but then I questioned it and then missed the turn because it happened too fast. And if I would have turned down in that parking lot, that's the one that she turned into because she was right behind me. I kept going and ended up having to go all the way around to come back around to turn back into that same parking lot that I missed because I didn't listen to my intuition. I didn't listen to my instinct to turn in that parking lot because it was right. And I questioned it, and I went like this with the steering wheel, and I kept going. And you know what her answer was afterwards? She says, why do you always doubt yourself? Why do you hesitate? She knew it. And I'm like, wow, that is such a good observation. And she sensed that just by, I guess, the way that the car moved, because I kind of hesitated, and she could tell. And I never forget that to this day. And that was like in 2015, sometime in 2015. And I just never will forget that because it reminded me of majority of my life how I've been doubting everything. I would get the intuitive hits, the instinct to do this or do that, and then I doubt it, and then it turns out to be a lot more volatile than I wanted it to be or thought it would be. And if I would have just listened originally, it wouldn't have to be that hard if I would have listened the first time versus hesitated or questioned or doubted. We are given the answers all the time. Every moment, every minute of the day, we're told and guided, and we resist, and we fight. Excuse me. We resist and we fight and we question every step of the way. Now, not that you shouldn't question. I mean, I would question everything, like I have done since I was a little kid. But we resist the intuitive hits that we receive, what feels good and what doesn't feel good. And it's like the more readings I do of the Akashic Records and the more people I meet, it's such a common theme. So many people are untrusting and doubting everything. And they don't go with their intuition or their instinct. And then they pay for it in the end. Now, mind you, it's still going to take you to the same place in the end, so to speak. But it's usually a harder path. Like, for example, by me missing this parking spot, I now had to go all the way around. It wasn't like 5 feet in a circle. I had to go all the way around. And it wasn't, like I said, it was a lot longer of a drive. I had to sit in traffic. I had to go all the way around to then come back to the same place I was going to park. If I would have listened to my instinct and my intuition in the first place, I wouldn't have had to go all the way around I could have just made that quick turn like she did, and it would have been over and done. But I chose to resist, fight, and do it the hard way. And that's we have a tendency to do that. When it's so funny, because if we would have listened in the first place, it would have been much easier than not listening and resisting and fighting it, to then end up having to do a harder path to get to the same place. I mean, does that make any sense to you? Because it don't make sense to me. So I guess the moral of the story and the moral of this video is trust. Trust your intuition. Trust your instinct that you're receiving. Trust the messages that are coming in, because they're there for a reason. They're there to guide you. They're your inner compass, and they're kind of showing you a more relaxed, peaceful, easy route than the one if you didn't listen and you hesitated, right? And it's ironic because I really did. I did that many times throughout my life, and I can remember the instances when I did that. And I'm sure you all can remember moments when you were driving and you went like this with the wheel real quick because you hesitated and you doubted the intuition and the instinct you were receiving to turn down that street, and then you ended up going down, getting lost, going a further route, taking you even longer, possibly making you late to your appointment, or even late to school, or late to meet someone, or whatever the case may be, because if you would have listened initially, you would have got there quick, easy, and smoothly. And that's what we're meant to have here. We're meant to strengthen that muscle, that intuitive muscle. So, I urge you to ask for help. I urge you to ask your angels and guides, like, how can I strengthen my instinct, my intuition? How can I strengthen that muscle? Because it requires you, like you're in the gym, to build that muscle up. That intuitive muscle needs to be rebuilt because you haven't been using it. And you've been doubting and questioning for so long that the muscle gets weak. Just like if you don't go to the gym, or you don't work out, or you don't lift weights, and then you start lifting weights again, it's like you got to start from a small weight and build yourself up. Well, you have to do the same thing with the intuition. You have to build it up. It takes time. It takes practice. The more and more you don't doubt, and the more and more you trust and have faith, the more and more that intuitive muscle will get stronger. And you'll then begin to trust yourself and not doubt. And I found myself over the years, ever since then, it's gotten better and better and better and better. Now, mind you, I still doubt. I still will have moments like that. But for the most part, I follow from within in every aspect. And how does it feel talking to this individual? How does it feel meeting up with them? How does it feel doing this or doing that, or continuing to do this? And a lot of times we ignore it and we continue to do something we don't like or we don't feel good doing, but we do it because, oh, well, it's providing me with money. Oh, it's providing me with safety. Oh, this relationship gives me comfort and safety, but like it doesn't feel good. Like your intuition, your instinct is telling you, but you just stay in it because you don't want to ruffle feathers with them or people around you, or maybe you have a group friendship and they all are friends and you don't want to ruffle feathers, and it's like, so we just stay in these situations or things, or hold on to these things, and in actuality they don't feel good and they're not serving our highest good and they're not serving you. So I urge you to take the time and start listening, because the more you listen to that instinct and that intuition and that gut feeling, the more it will get louder and louder, and the more you won't have to really listen hard. It'll be so easy, and it'll be like smooth like butter, and it'll just happen, and you'll hear it and you'll do it, and you'll hear it and you'll do it, and you'll hear it and you'll follow it. You won't have to question it anymore. So I know this wasn't my real intent for this video today, but I felt like somebody needed this message. Not only did somebody else out there need it, but I needed it too. I needed to hear it myself. So, again, I am truly grateful for each and every one of you, and that I even get to do this every day, because it's amazing and beautiful, and I'm so truly grateful and thankful. And I just want to say thank you to all the new subscribers, and thank you for sharing your comments and your information and your stories, because you're helping each and every one of us. I love you all so much from the bottom of my heart, from my heart to yours. Take care of yourselves and each other. I will see you in the next one. Until next time, let's go, Wisdom Warriors of Light. We got this.